Thank you so much for joining me today. And the topic that we're going to talk about today is how do you find purpose after retirement? Now, that has always interested me long before I retired. I wanted to know what would I do with what I want to consider free time. Now that I have an abundance of free time being time that is my own, time that no one else can put a stamp on, put an end time on. It's all up to me. Deciding what I want to do with my time is something that I don't necessarily say that I had given a lot of thought to, but now that I am at the age of 72, looking at the time that I have available, how do one find purpose? One of the first things that I did was take to paper and pen. And this might be something worthy of your consideration as well. Write down the things that you find valuable. What adds value to your life? For me, family has been number one on the list. Family. I have one son, and some would say I have two children, including myself, because I did raise my niece. She came to me when she was in eighth grade. So that may be 13, 14, or maybe 15, I'm not really sure. But she spent her years after eighth grade, starting at eighth grade through high school with me and my son. As they grew together, and they both have since graduated and gone on to college and started lives of their own, independent of me, there left the void. What is there for me? During the time of their graduation, I was still working, but now I'm looking at my life and realizing that I have actually defined 5 phases of purpose for my life. One was investing in my family. My son now has two children. I have two grandbabies, and they are the love of my life. One is 3 years of age, the little boy, and the darling little girl is 1.5. And I adore them immensely. And it reminds me of what my mother, my grandmother, and perhaps other people who were influential in my life would have said. It's different. It's truly different when the children are yours and when the children are not yours. I see that I treat my very own grandchildren differently than I raised my child. But that's a good thing because raising children does not come with a handbook. It comes, knowledge is come or stems from experience. So, not ever being an experienced parent, there were many lessons that I had to learn. So, learning how to be a parent was a valuable lesson that helps me to be the best grandmama that one can have. Actually, I'm called Grandma by my grandbabies who love me dearly. The next thing that I realized is that when you start to serve others, you're actually finding your purpose. When you can step outside of who you are, you become less focused on who you are and what you can do for yourself. That when you start to serve others, you are ingratiating yourself and creating memorable experiences for many different people, thousands of people, I would venture to say. And one thing I know for sure. Hey, Nico, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Priscilla, and I'm very happy to talk about our topic today. What's your purpose after retirement? Honestly, at 72, I didn't see myself reaching 72 in my younger years. Of course, believing I would reach 72 and beyond. But thinking about what I would do was something that I wasn't so sure that it was even necessary. I was going to be, I don't know, 25, 35 forever. And I honestly feel as if I'm 35 now, not 72. Thanks, Sanjay, for joining in. Nico, thank you for being here. And thank you for the thumbs up. I really do value and appreciate everyone that has stopped in today just to say hello, just to see who I am. And I am Priscilla. Excuse me, my nose is itching like, I don't know if you've ever seen the story of Bewitched, but here I am. So, serving others has proven to be invaluable to me as I determine and travel the path of what is my purpose after retirement. The third thing is sharing my knowledge. Many people are thinking going on YouTube, as I am now, is something that is a little intimidating. But let me tell you that when you're finding your purpose, there's nothing greater than a community that can share in the values that you hold and you hold those values dear. They will give you insight, input, and help you reflect on those things that you're thinking about. Let me take a moment now and ask each one to give me a thumbs up if you're listening to me and you can hear me clearly, and I'll tell you the reason why. The more interaction we can engage with on this channel, YouTube will do something amazing. It will let the algorithm spread out and let other people know that we're actually live on this channel. So if you could give me a heart or a thumbs up or continue to make comments as we're going along, that will be amazing. Thank you so much for that. The third thing is when you're thinking of what is your purpose, maybe it is leaving a legacy. You may ask yourself, how can you leave a legacy? On another channel, you may hear someone say, or maybe even hear me say, legacy is not about fame or fortune or what you have, but it's how you are going to be remembered. Who is going to remember you? Why are they going to remember you? Type in the chat now, who will remember your name on tomorrow? My name is Priscilla, and I hope you will remember my name. Who has had an impact on your life? Now, the last thing that I would say that has helped me to define my purpose was to learn something new. And I will tell you honestly, getting on YouTube and learning something new has been a tremendous experience. Many of us, especially if we retire, we probably created a YouTube channel with our kids. And it's just sat there. It is just something that we did. Make the decision that you're going to have a live, interactive YouTube channel that will encourage people to come, visit, and see, learn, and reflect on what you're going to share about your life, find out more about what their lives are like, and you're going to make new friends. These are the virtual friends that you're going to make, not just having someone by name. Eventually, you will become a little more intimately involved with these individuals. You'll feel as if you're talking to your best friend, having a cup of coffee, and an enjoyable conversation. Don't let fear of the unknown stop you from being an active participant on YouTube. Just start. If you think about it, if you're retired and you have grandkids, the first thing that you're doing as a grandparent is giving them the attention. When you give something the attention, the more attention you're going to receive back. No matter how tired you may be, your grandbabies, they don't care that you're tired. If you're holding them, you're showing them love, affection, and care, they want to be right, right next to you. Um, so think of things that will generate positivity in your life. Pre-retirement days. Thank you so much for joining me. I was just saying a little while ago that I retired at the age of 52. I'm 72 now, and I've been retired for 52, for 20 years now. I took early retirement, and I wanted to know when I retired, was I answering the call of what is my purpose? So I took pen to paper and I wrote down what did I really enjoy doing? And what I realized is that I enjoyed working with, serving, and interacting with other people. That perhaps is the greatest purpose for my life. At 52, social media was around, but nothing like it is today in the last 5 to 7 years. Social media has, in my opinion, exploded, and people are finding little avenues, little crevices of where they can fit in. And I'm experimenting with, is this a good niche for me? I believe that it is. And I believe too, if you have retirement in your title, if you are anticipating retiring sometime in the near future, if you recently retired, or whatever the case may be, look at creating a presence on YouTube. Everyone, including you, including Sanjay, Nico, and everyone else that is watching the replay, if you decide that this may be a community you want to be a part of, not just my community, but your very own community, of the vastness of the people in the totality of the universe, there is so much that so many of us can share with each other. Would you agree? If you would agree with anything that I've said so far, type a 4 in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you can type 4 or you can write replay 4. That would mean so much for me. One thing that I do know is that the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, works in everyone's favor. When each one of us can actually reach another one person, we are extending ourselves to the opportunity of growing by leaps and bounds. If one person enjoys what they're listening to, as you're presenting, as I'm presenting, or someone else is presenting, or someone coming over, most likely the individuals are going to be reciprocal and check your channel out. That does not necessarily mean that they're going to become a subscriber, but they have taken the initiative to show appreciation for your stopping in to see what they were doing. I'm going to show appreciation for those of you who are visiting me today for stopping in and visit your channel. If I have not already subscribed to your channel, if what your channel represents what I'm doing, just as perhaps some of you may be doing today, checking me out, I'm going to check you out. What does that do? That gives you watched hours, if not a subscriber. When you reach your 1K subscriber, then the pressure of reaching a milestone is no longer there, and you become much more comfortable in engaging in conversation if you're not comfortable talking with people going live without a script. And I don't have a script today. And usually with a live, I don't have a script. If I do a video, I may have a script, but all of that would be edited out so that if I make, I don't know what they call it, a goof ball, or I forget what it's called, but if you make a mistake, what is it called? It's a flaw. I can edit that out. But if I go live, there is no editing. So you see me in the natural, you see me in the raw, as this is what I am presenting. I wanted to come on, introduce myself live. To those of you who have yet to meet me, I'm Priscilla, a 72-year-old retiree. And today I just wanted to talk about what my purpose is after retirement. What have I done? What am I doing? And what does the future look like for me? I know that my future is exciting. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you can, if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. And if you could send up one heart if you're listening to me, two hearts if you have heard something that resonates with you, three hearts if you will come back tomorrow and see me live. I usually I usually do my lives early in the morning, and I hope to have a video coming out later today. I hope that you will watch the video that will be posted by me later today. And if you make a comment after this live ends, I'll be sure to check out your channel as well. What happens is that sometimes YouTube, when I'm recording on my cell phone, YouTube doesn't send the list over for me, so I don't know who's watching. And I can't, well, I know who's watching right now, but it doesn't give me a register of who was watching once I log off. So at the end of this live, if you will come back and just type hello or watched or replay, I will definitely communicate back to you. Thanks again, Sanjay. And for those of you who are in need of support, encouragement on your channel, don't hesitate to reach out to the individuals that are already in this live stream. It's perfectly fine if you want to post your link and invite others to come over to visit your channel. Please post your link now in the chat. I don't want to distract from what I'm saying by trying to type on this little screen information. So if you want to type your uh, YouTube link in the chat, that is perfectly fine. But today's topic is, what's your purpose after retirement? What's your purpose after retirement? And you find one way to find your purpose is to take the pen and paper and write down, what are some things that you truly, truly enjoy doing? And for me, the utmost thing that just kept coming to my mind is being of service, being of service to others, being a grandparent. That is my purpose. I think I said earlier that I learned earlier in life from my mother that you become a better parent after you have raised your children. Children do not come with a handbook. How do you raise them? How do you have the best children? You learn from doing. So it's a trial and error. Many things that I did when I was raising my son, I don't do with his children because I remember things that worked, things that didn't work, and things that worked really well, and things that didn't work really well. So the first thing would be finding your purpose, not finding your purpose in the sense of raising children, but finding your purpose is in the doing. Write down, what do you enjoy doing? And you will actually see a pattern. The more things that you do consistently, the more perfect you are at doing those things. So becoming a YouTuber for me is exciting. And I believe that my story, my message, my life is of value and will benefit many people in days to come. And I hope that those of you who are watching me live, those of you who are watching the replay, will find value in what it is that you have heard me say today. And keep in mind that I do plan to post a video a little later today. And if you get an opportunity, I hope that you will watch that video as well. There are still a few people here. If you have questions that you'd like to ask of me, I would be happy to answer those questions and share my thoughts on that. When you retire, you do lose a lot of associates because, in my case, as an educator, there was a plethora of teachers all around me every day, all day, or a plethora of students all day, every day. Now, the people that I interact with in person, in the physical space, is very minute. But there's a huge space of interaction that can take place on YouTube. And I won't say that YouTube is a replacement for people, the human interaction, but it is a good fit for me. I enjoy being on YouTube. I enjoy doing lives. And if you get an opportunity to visit some of my other lives, I would value your thoughts, comments on those videos as well. All right, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining me and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now, and I am Priscilla.